Today I'm gonna be making some kotalks, the white kotalks. Right here I have semolina, and I have cracked wheat #1, burghul. It's really fine. For the dough, it's just semolina, cracked wheat, and salt. But for the filling, which I have over here, I made a video last night. I did make it last night because I wanted it to be completely cold. You have to have it cooled completely to fill your kotalks, or your kotalks will fall apart. I have a video, I'm gonna post it next, of how I did this. And for the soup, what goes in it, I do a wax turnip. It's not a regular turnip, it's really bigger. It's yellow in the middle of it, and it's like waxy on top. That's why it's called a wax turnip. And I have collard greens, and I'm also gonna put salt, chicken flavoring, and laming, citric acid, in with these ingredients for the soup part of it. And I'm also going to do some of the red ones because my son likes the red ones instead of the white ones. I have an eggplant here, collard greens. I'm going to put tomato paste in it, and again, chicken flavoring, a tiny little bit of citric acid, and salt for the red ones. The filling for my kotalks is ground beef, parsley, onions. For the spices, it's chicken flavoring, curry powder, red pepper flakes, black pepper, salt, and that's it. I'm gonna brown this, chop these up, and put them in here, and that's your filling. Okay guys, I have my meat that's browning right now. I have my chopped onions, chopped parsley, and my spices. I'm gonna throw in the onions and the spices, and I'm gonna work it for 5 minutes, let it cook for 5 minutes until the onions are cooked. And then at the end, I'm gonna throw in the parsley, mix it up, and turn off the stove, and that's it. I'm not gonna let the parsley cook too much. Okay, now time for the dough. I have the cracked wheat and my semolina over here. I'm gonna use this bowl. Whatever measuring tool you use, I'm gonna use 1 of the cracked wheat, 1 of the semolina, 1 and 1 of each. 2 and 2. I'm also gonna salt it, and I'm gonna put water in it, mix it up, cover it, and leave it for about, okay, I have mixed it up, and I put that much water in it until it got really sticky. I'm gonna cover it with plastic wrap and just leave it there for about 10-15 minutes. Okay, I have a large plate over here, and my dough has rested. I'm gonna empty it in here, and I have to work it, knead it for a little bit. Like this, until You knead it really, really well until you try to form a ball and it sticks together. And I do have some water over here that I'm gonna submerge my hands in once a while like this and work it. Okay, I have kneaded my dough and I'm gonna form it into all of this into about 1-inch size balls. And I am doing a big batch. You don't have to do big batch like me. I am gonna freeze it. We're not gonna eat it all today. You can do 1 cup or whatever measuring tool you're using of semolina and 1 of the cracked wheat, and you should be good. But I have made all my balls. I have water by my side. I'm gonna show you how I fill them. You hollow the middle like that. Fill it up real good. Push it in. Close the top. Again, water. That's it. And I'm gonna keep doing it for all. It's time to prepare the sauce, the soup for the Kotalks. I have my collard greens over here. They're already cut. I'm just gonna put them in here. These stems like this I'm gonna pick out because they're pretty rough. And I'm gonna peel and cut my turnip and put it in here. Wash it really, really well, and then start the cooking process. Okay, I have 2 pots on the stove right now with oil in it. 1 for my red ones and 1 for my white ones. I'm gonna throw in my collard greens and my turnip in here and let it cook for a while before I add water to it. About 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the oil. And then I'm also gonna put in the eggplant and the collard greens in here. This is gonna be pretty fast because eggplants cook really, really quick. But for the turnips, it takes a while for them to get tender. Okay, as you can see, the eggplants have browned a little bit. This is ready for the water. I have my tomato paste and water over here for the red ones. I'm gonna throw it in here. Add my salt, chicken flavoring. Let me get a spoon. Hold on. Okay, salt, about a tablespoon. A full tablespoon of the chicken flavoring. And I am gonna add a tiny bit of citric acid laming to this too. Taste it. If it doesn't have enough salt, put more salt in it, or chicken flavoring, whatever you want. And I'm gonna cover it until it comes to a boil, until it boils up. My white ones are still going. I'm gonna let them cook for another 5 minutes like this, and then I'll add the water. Okay, 5 minutes later, I'm gonna put in my water. Okay, I have added my water. Now I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of the chicken flavoring. Salt, about 1 tablespoon. And citric acid, a full tablespoon. And I'm gonna add another half because I like it sour. I like them really sour. And I'm gonna let this cook until the turnips are tender, fork tender. And then I'm gonna throw in my kotalks. Okay, now as you can see, my water for the red ones is ready. It's boiling, steaming. While this is still going, because I want this to cook more until the turnips are fork tender. This is ready for the kotalks to go in. I'm gonna do about 10 at a time. Like that, separate it. When you throw them in, do not stir it. Just go around it like this once or twice and leave it alone. Because if you keep messing with it, you're gonna break them. Leave them alone. When the kotalks float to the top, that means they're done. Or you can cut one open and see if they're done or not, if they're tender or not. Okay, now this is ready too. I've checked it. They are tender now. I'm gonna throw the kotalks in. Like I said, 10 at a time, because I don't want the temperature of the water to drop. If the temperature of the water drops, then your kotalks will get stuck together and they will break. So be patient. Throw them in 10 at a time, 6, 7 at a time, and let them cook. These are still going. They're not. Okay, I throw in my kotalks and I'm gonna let them cook. The red ones are about done. As you can see, they're floating to the top, and this took like about 10 minutes. Always taste your soup. If you like it more sour, put more citric acid in it, laming in it. If it doesn't have enough salt, add more chicken flavoring. It's always to taste how you want it. And notice I didn't put the cover in on it completely. I slanted it. I'm gonna do the same for this, and I'm gonna wait for them to be done. Okay guys, they are done. As you can see, they floated to the top. I turned off the stove and cover them and leave them until you eat them. And these are the red ones.